I'm heading to the San Francisco Public Library to meet with social historian Donna Sheeling. I'm curious to know why my great-grandmother waited 8 years before divorcing her husband, who abandoned her while she was pregnant with her first child.
We were actually able to find the document that's the final decree of divorce.
Wow, isn't that something? The Superior Court of State of California, County of San Francisco, final decree of divorce. The motion of Genevieve Marriott Dimmick. The plaintiff came on this 20th day of November, 1914. Ellis L. Dimmick, defendant. That defendant has not moved to vacate and set aside said default, that he has not made a motion for a new trial, that he has not taken an appeal from said interlocutory decree. So he did not participate in this proceeding, basically.
No.
So it seems like he left right away and just, I don't think they saw him again. So she divorced him about 8 years later. Why would she have considered waiting quite so long, except that maybe there was pressure in the household to not be a divorced woman? What was it like being divorced then?
By the time that Genevieve files for divorce, and I had taken a look, and her parents are no longer alive.
Okay.
Yeah, that might have mattered, that maybe while her parents were alive, she didn't want to file, or maybe they didn't want her to file for divorce.
Yeah.
Also, it may be that she doesn't want the stigma of being divorced.
Sure.
I think that that is a good possibility in this as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it was especially not easy to be a single mother in this time period. There was no daycare really the way that we have it today.
Well, I think that's why she was with her aunts. Maybe they wanted to give her a more stable sense of, belonging in a family, and while the sisters were living next door. Fascinating. Yeah, so I'm just, what else can you tell me? I mean, I'd like to know more about this fella, Ellis. I'd like to know if Genevieve ever remarried.
Well, we were able to find more information on Genevieve.
Wow. So this is her death certificate.
That's her death certificate.
Genevieve Foltz. So she did remarry.
Yes, she did.
How about that? She married William S. Foltz. I hope he loved her very much and that she was happy.
That she was
Final
happy.
Days. At the age of 52 years and 20 days. Principal cause of death, cirrhosis of the liver. So it looks like Genevieve was an alcoholic. Oh, wow.
Well, that would be the most common cause of cirrhosis of the liver.
Certainly.
And it would be drinking over a fairly long period of time.
A lot.
Yeah.
To die at 52, cirrhosis of the liver.
Yep.
She clearly had, a real serious problem. That explains a lot of why my grandmother talked about how her mother wasn't really in her life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's maybe why she ran away so much. She just wanted mom to pay attention once in a while.
Yeah. And the timing on this is interesting too, because she dies in 1934, but we have just come out of Prohibition.
So she was drinking all through Prohibition.
San Francisco, it was very easy to get alcohol during Prohibition. In some senses, Genevieve is, I don't know if you'd call it a victim of her time, but certainly of the circumstances. Because at the point that she's young and probably dating, and then meets her husband, this is a time period where women are starting to enjoy sort of these public amusements, they would call them, right? And so women were starting to be able to go out. And so the temptations are there, and certainly this happens in urban areas.
She was a party girl.
So she may have been, she may have been a very early party girl here.
Maybe she and Ellis just hooked up on a drunk one night and
very well could be.
Getting married, maybe he thought it was the right thing to do, I don't know, but then he just split. I mean, he left before the baby was born. So he's the mystery in this. I don't know who he is or...
Yeah, so you saw from the newspaper article that they had gotten married in Oakland, okay? And I could put you in touch with a historian over in Oakland that can help you track down and see if Ellis has a presence over there.
I'll do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Learning that Genevieve was probably a heavy drinker gave me some insight into what her home must have been like for Evangeline, for my grandmother. She was a little girl and her mom was not available. It's a shame. To find out that Genevieve had died basically of alcoholism is a thing that resonates with me, and I've certainly had my own experiences with that issue. It's a sad end. Somebody a lot smarter than I am once said that alcoholism is the result of a broken heart and unresolved grief. If that's the case, well, then I can certainly understand how that might have happened.